Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tasha Shanquay. I want to welcome back those who are returning, and I want to welcome those who are new. Y'all come on in and join the family. Subscribe to my channel so that y'all can watch all of the exciting videos that I do, y'all. Y'all, they're exciting to me. I hope they're exciting to y'all. But y'all, today is another episode of the Single Women's Diaries. It's just my point of view. Y'all, it's where I'm going to be giving my point of view on different topics of being single. And married women, I'm not excluding y'all. If y'all want to tune in and watch to give y'all an opinion, I definitely welcome y'all opinions because I do want to be married one day. But the topic for today is, do not put your life on hold just because you're not married. And y'all, this is something that I've been struggling with because I do want to be married, but it's something that I've been struggling with because I always find myself saying, oh, I'll do this when I get married and I'll do that when I get married. And I just feel like that's not a good way to be. Don't put your life on hold because you're not married. It's definitely, I feel like the single life can definitely be fun and exciting. It doesn't have to be just like, oh, I'm waiting on my husband to go do this or to do this. And so that's what I found myself doing. But y'all, as always, y'all, I said these are my diaries, so I always like to read y'all, what I wrote. I'm going to just kind of talk about it, and I just want y'all to, drop down in the comments what do y'all think about this topic of, do not put your life on hold just because you're not married. And I'm just going to, read from my journal. It says, I used to say all the time when I get married, I'm going to do this or that. I put so much weight on being married. And when I say that I put so much weight on being married, y'all, of course, being married is serious. It's definitely something, that I take seriously. And it's not a joke. And so when I say I put so much weight on being married, it's almost kind of like, did I idolize being married? Or it's almost like, okay, I'm putting so much weight on being married to where I'm putting my life on hold. If that makes sense. I hope it makes sense to y'all. But it says, I put so much weight on being married until one day I thought about it. Y'all, I had to think about it. What if I don't get married? What if it's not in God's plan for me to get married? Like, what if that's not my ministry? And so that really, I really had to pose that question to myself, because I'm like, okay, Tasha, what if you don't get married? Like, then what? Then will you not go and do the things that you say you want to do? Will you not travel? Will you not, just go and just have a good, joyful life that God wants me to have? And so, y'all, that really made me think, like, y'all, what do y'all think about that? Have y'all ever had a thought of like, okay, what if I don't get married? What if God does not have that plan for my life? And so I'm 37 years old, and it's just like, as the years go by, and I'm just like, okay, well, is it in God's plan for me to be married? Or am I supposed to stay single until I go to heaven? I don't know, y'all, but because I definitely don't know what God's plan is for me in this avenue. I feel like I will get married, and it just feels like, my husband is coming. I just have that feeling. I don't know if y'all have ever had that feeling or not, but that's just the feeling that I've been having. And I mean, it could be just me, wishful thinking. But I really truly feel like, I'll meet my husband, but I could be wrong. Y'all, I just have to sit and think about it all the time. And I used to say, y'all, all the time, I'm going to buy a house whenever I get married. Girl, what if you don't get married? You're never going to buy a house? So that's just some things that, I really have to think about. And it just makes me think, like, I'm putting my life on hold just because I'm not married. And so I'm telling y'all, don't put y'all life on hold just because y'all not married. If y'all want to go to the trip, like I've always said, I always say that I want to go on my honeymoon to Hawaii. Whenever I get married, I want to go to Hawaii on my honeymoon. Girl, what if you don't get married? Then you're never going to go to Hawaii? So that's just something that, definitely something that I've been wanting to do, go to Hawaii. But I just always imagined me and my husband on our honeymoon in Hawaii. And it's like, girl, you're not even married. What are you doing? So I just, like, I don't know if y'all ever felt like that. I don't know if I'm just sounding crazy or what, but this is just my thoughts. Like I said, y'all, this is just my point of view. My Single Women's Diary is just my point of view. And just, things that I just want to share with y'all. And I've been enjoying this series. I hope that y'all have. but I haven't been getting that many views on it. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm not in the algorithm. I don't know, but I just know that things will happen when it's supposed to. My videos will get watched when they're supposed to, but I'm just enjoying recording them. I'm just enjoying sitting and talking with y'all, about this single life, about my, single journey. I'm just sharing my journals with y'all, getting personal. But y'all even said that, one day me and my husband's gonna start a podcast. This was before I started this YouTube channel. And then I guess it was like my way of like, okay, Taisha, what if you don't get married? Then you're not gonna start that podcast. So even though my channel is not a podcast, who knows, maybe in the future I might start my own podcast, even though I'm not married. And then who knows, maybe when my husband comes along, or if he comes along, we can join in together with that podcast. Y'all don't know what the Lord has in store for me, but I'm just trying to enjoy the ride. I'm just trying to embrace my singleness, and that's why I want to encourage y'all to embrace y'all singleness. That's why I want to do this video, do this topic, to encourage y'all to, to embrace your singleness and not put your life on hold just because you're not married. And another thing I said too is whenever I get married, I'll travel more. Y'all, I like to travel, but I don't travel because I feel like I don't have a partner to travel with. I don't have anyone to travel with. I mean, of course I have my mom, but she doesn't like to drive. I don't like to drive, so it's like, okay, how are we gonna go anywhere? But yes, I definitely want to travel, but I'm just like, Taisha, you need to figure out a way to travel, even if you're not married. Y'all just drop down in the comments, like I said, what do y'all think about this topic? Have y'all ever put on any, travel holds because you're not married? Or is there anything that y'all have put on hold because y'all are not married? Like, I want to know, y'all. Y'all talk to me down in the comments, because I just want to start a conversation about single life and just about, how we can sometimes as women put our lives on hold because we're not married. We put so much weight into being married, into getting married, that we put our lives on hold. And I just feel like that's what I've been doing over the past years, putting my life on hold just because I'm not married. And to me, that's not a good thing. I should just, enjoy the life that God has given me, enjoy the single life. That's why I wanted to do this series, because I just want to encourage single women. And I don't want to exclude married women, like I said in the beginning of the video. I want y'all to definitely, tune in and just talk about, experiences when y'all was single, if y'all feel comfortable doing that. But I just really, truly, don't know what the Lord has in store for me, but I'm just trying my best to enjoy the ride. I'm trying my best to enjoy my singleness, because I know once you get married, there's, another person that you have to think about. So I'm just trying to make sure that, I'm enjoying my singleness. I'm embracing my singleness. So y'all, embrace your singleness. Don't be down because you're not married. Because to be honest, I don't really think about marriage that much, because I don't want to idolize marriage. Yes, I see other people, married. I'm like, oh, maybe one day that'll happen to me. But, just in case it doesn't, I just want to embrace my singleness and just really try to live my life the best way that I can, even though I'm not married, even though that's something that I want. I just don't want to put my life on hold because I'm not married. Y'all, and something else that I wrote is, it occurred to me that I was putting my life on hold for something that may not even happen. Y'all, just imagine being years down the road and you put your life on hold for something that may not even happen. And I'm looking like, okay, dog, 10 years from now, I'm looking like I'll be 47. I'm like, girl, you put your life on hold for something that may not even happen. Like, where they do that at, y'all? I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Like, Lord, give me the strength to just embrace my singleness, embrace my single, the single life. But it says, it's a sad thought. It's a sad thought to think of it not happening, but I have to trust God's plan. It's definitely a sad thought for me, y'all, to think that, I may not get married, that marriage may not be my ministry, that, I may not have a partner to share life with. I'm going to just go through life and experience different things. It's definitely a sad thought to think about, but I'm just trying my best to hold on to God's unchanging hand. I'm trying my best to, just embrace my singleness and not really think about, you know, what I'm lacking, but not really think about what I don't have, but just focusing on what I do have. And I have this single life right now where I can use it to encourage single women like I'm trying to do with this series. And y'all heard my phone going off. It's always making noise. Y'all probably see in some of my videos it definitely be making noise, but anyway, but yeah, y'all, it's a sad thought to think about. But I mean, it's just something to think about. Like, what if I don't get married? You know, what if it's not in God's plan for me? Oh, I just have to trust His plan, because His ways are better than my ways, y'all. I'm always going to talk about God in any video that I do, because I love to, you know, talk about God. I love to represent Him in the best way that I possibly can. But yeah, it's just something to think about. Like, what if I don't get married? Like, what if it's not for me? So I definitely can get sad sometimes when I think about it, but I just have to trust the Lord and just know that He loves me, and that even if I don't get married, even if He doesn't have that in His plan for me, He doesn't love me any less, y'all. He doesn't love you any less if He doesn't give you, you know, the husband that you wanted or the married life that you wanted. God doesn't love us any less if He allows us to stay single. He just wants us to embrace that singleness, to pour into that singleness, to pour into other single women, and just encourage other single women. Y'all, that's what my channel is about: encouragement, encouraging others. Not just encouraging single women, but just encouraging people in general. And so y'all, I hope that, you know, this is what my channel has been to y'all: encouragement. And I want to share a scripture with y'all. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 1. It says, "The plans of the mind belong to mortals, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord." Y'all, that just means that as humans, we're always making plans, y'all. We're always planning in our mind, well, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do this next week. And it's like, but God, the answer of the tongue is from God, meaning that God has control. God has control over our lives. He has control over what we do and what we're not going to do. And so, y'all, we just have to embrace God's plan and not shun away from God's plan, not get mad when it doesn't line up with the way we wanted it to, y'all. So I just want to encourage y'all with that. Y'all, this scripture reminds me that no matter how much I plan, God's plan is always going to win. God's plan is always going to prevail over mine. He's going to prevail over ours, y'all. No matter how much we plan, God's plan is always going to win out, and it's always better than what our plans can be, y'all. If you ever think about, you know, certain things that we might have planned or we might have wanted, and then when God, you know, answered it or answered that prayer, it was just beyond what, you know, we could even think or imagine. So yeah, I just wanted to encourage y'all that God knows best. I know it's hard to hear sometimes when things are not going your way, but God knows best. Y'all, we just have to trust His plan, y'all. And y'all, I just want to encourage y'all, don't put your life on hold just because you're not married, y'all. Do not put your life on hold just because you're not married. Embrace your singleness. Embrace God's plan for you right now. Embrace God's will for you right now. And just don't put your life on hold just because you're not married, y'all. Find a way to, you know, encourage yourself in your singleness. Find a way to enjoy the single life that God has given you. And that's what I'm trying my best to do, y'all. I have some work to do, y'all. But I just really, truly trust in the Lord, and I trust in His plan. But y'all, I hope that y'all have enjoyed this video, because I have enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed this topic. I've enjoyed talking to y'all. And that I pray that this message will reach whoever it's supposed to reach. I pray that y'all will find it whenever y'all supposed to find it. And then, like always, I love to say, y'all, just remember that I love y'all and Jesus loves y'all as well. Bye. I'll see y'all next time.